Be me, the girl who always thought she'd never be that girlfriend. You know, the clingy dramatic one. The one checking her phone every 5 minutes, waiting for a text that isn't coming. Yeah, that's me now. It's been 4 days since I've heard from Alex. 4, which might not sound long, but when you've been glued to someone for 2 years straight, it feels like a lifetime. We met the most cliché way you can imagine, through mutual friends at a bonfire on the beach 2 summers ago. He was the quiet one sitting near the cooler, hoodie up, letting everyone else talk. I was the opposite, loud, laughing, telling stories, pretending to hate attention while needing every bit of it. I noticed him early on because he wasn't trying. Everyone else was doing that performative flirting thing, telling dumb jokes, yelling over the music. But he just sat there, quietly sipping a beer, eyes half on the fire, half on the waves, like he was thinking about something deeper. It was annoying, honestly. Like, who goes to a party just to vibe in silence? I decided to make him talk. "Hey, mystery man," I said, walking over. "You guarding the cooler, or just antisocial?" He looked up, calm, completely unfazed by my tone. "Little bit of both," he said. That made me grin. "So, what? You're the quiet, chill type? The guy in every Netflix show who secretly writes poetry and has a tragic backstory?" He shrugged, smirking. "I'd tell you, but that would ruin the mystery." I laughed. "Oh my god, you actually leaned into it. You are the chill guy meme. Someone give this man a guitar." He chuckled, then handed me a drink from the cooler and said, "If I give you this, will you stop psychoanalyzing me?" I took it, sat down next to him, pretending to pout. Not a chance. "You're way too quiet. You're like a ghost." He looked at me for a second, not annoyed, not shy, just thoughtful, and said, "Some ghosts listen." It caught me off guard, the way he said it, half joking, half meaning it. So I played along. "Yeah? And what do you think Ghost Me is saying right now?" He smiled slightly. "That you want someone to listen." That shut me up for the first time all night. I remember the way the firelight hit his face. Soft, kind of golden, his eyes calm but focused. He didn't look like someone trying to get something from me. He looked like someone there, present, like he'd actually heard what I hadn't said. So I tried to deflect. "Wow, deep. You say that to all the girls who interrupt your meditation sessions?" He grinned, taking another sip of his drink. "Only the loud ones." I laughed way too hard at that. It stuck with me. That night, he offered to walk me to my car. Didn't flirt, didn't touch me, didn't even ask for my number. Just said, "Text me when you get home." So I did. And that's how it started. Alex wasn't like other guys I'd dated. He didn't chase, didn't compliment constantly, didn't perform affection. He just showed up, quietly, consistently. When I'd vent about work or a friend, he'd listen. When I'd say something dumb just to get a reaction, he'd give me that small smile that felt like a secret between us. I think that's what got me hooked. How calm he was. But over time, that calm started to irritate me. He became boring quick. I'd pick fights just to get emotion out of him. I told myself it was because he was emotionally closed off. But really, I just couldn't stand how unbothered he was. He never matched my energy. Not when I yelled, not when I cried, not when I accused him of not caring enough. And he did care. That's the thing. When I'd storm out, he'd show up outside my apartment an hour later with takeout. When I'd block him, he'd email me. Not begging, just asking to talk. When I'd threaten to leave, he'd say, "I just want peace, but I'm not giving up on you." And every time he said that, I felt powerful, because I knew, deep down, he needed me more than I needed him. Or at least, that's what I thought. The last fight we had started like every other one, over something he thought was nothing but was obviously something for me. He was late picking me up from a dinner with friends. He texted that he'd been caught in traffic. I ignored it. When he finally showed up, I was already in a mood. He apologized right away, but I rolled my eyes and threw out, "If you cared, you'd plan better." He didn't argue, just said, "Sorry, next time." And that's when I started poking, because silence from Alex always felt like losing control. "So you're not even going to explain yourself?" I did. "That's it? That's all you've got?" He looked at me, tired. "I don't know what you want me to say." And I don't know why, but that made me snap. I brought up old things, stupid, petty things, like how he didn't post me enough on social media, how his texts sometimes felt dry, how he never told me he missed me unless I said it first. It wasn't about any of that. I just wanted him to react, to prove I still mattered enough to make him angry. But he didn't. He just stood there, taking it. I remember saying, "You don't care about me at all, do you?" And he said, quietly, "You know I do." I laughed in his face. If this is love to you, it's pathetic. He went silent then, just blank. No defense, no comeback, no visible emotion. And after a long pause, he said, "Okay, that's all. Just one word." Then he grabbed his jacket, said, "Take care of yourself," and walked out. No door slam, no dramatic exit, just gone. At first, I thought Alex would come back like always, that he'd cool off and text me, or show up like he used to with that calm tone and tired eyes. But he didn't. Now it's been 4 days, and I haven't heard a thing. No text, no call, no "can we talk?" His Instagram hasn't updated. His WhatsApp last seen was Saturday morning. Even his Spotify's dead silent. The playlist we used to share hasn't been touched. I keep checking my phone, knowing it's pointless. I even left my ringer on for the first time in months, just in case. Every time it buzzes, I grab it like a reflex, only to see it's just an email or some useless notification. I've typed out at least 10 messages. "Hey, can we talk?" I didn't mean what I said. "Are you seriously going to ignore me forever?" Each one ended up deleted, because I don't want to look desperate. I keep telling myself he's doing this to make me chase him, that this is his way of getting back at me, because if it's punishment, it means I still matter. I even called one of his friends, Mark, pretending I needed to ask about something random, an old charger he left at my place or whatever. Mark sounded awkward, said, "I think he's just laying low." That phrase, laying low, hit me harder than it should have. What? So I'm some threat that he's hiding from now? Last night, I scrolled through our old texts. Alex used to reply instantly, even when he was mad. I found one from months ago after another fight. I'd said, "Whatever. I guess I'm too much for you." He wrote back, "Maybe. But you're the only one I want to deal with." That line used to make me melt. Now I just stare at it, wondering when that changed. Maybe he's just being dramatic. He's always been calm, sure, but not like this. This feels like he's trying to prove something. It's not like I did anything that bad. I've said worse before, and he always came back. He knows how I talk when I'm mad. I didn't mean half of it, and he should know that by now. He's not done. He just wants me to think he is. But there's a stupid part of me that now thinks Alex might not need my attention anymore. By day 5, I was tired of pacing around and overthinking, so I called my best friend Nicole. She's the one who's known every version of me. Single, dating, dramatic, done for good. I told her to meet me at a small diner near the park. Cheap coffee, simple food, no noise. She slid into the booth, looked at my face once and said, "Still nothing." I shook my head. Not a word. "He's really sticking to it this time." Nicole smirked like she'd already solved it. "He'll be back. They always are." I tried to play along. "You think?" "Come on, Emily," she said. "Guys like him don't know what to do without someone checking in on them." Give it another couple of days. He'll cave. She spoke like it was fact, like gravity. I sipped my coffee, pretending to agree. She leaned closer. You remember Matt? When he needed space? 2 weeks later, he's crying outside my building. They all act like they love peace until it's just them, their thoughts, and a microwave dinner. I laughed. So you're saying men can't function without women? Exactly. They say they want quiet, but what they really want is attention that feels safe. You think he's going to fix cars or go hiking? Please. He's probably lying in bed replaying your fight. It was comforting to hear her say that, to think of him restless somewhere, missing me, regretting everything. I even said it out loud. Yeah, he needs me more than I need him. Nicole pointed at me with her fork. Now you're talking. They all do. We talked about work, old classmates, nothing that really mattered. I kept waiting for my phone to buzz. It didn't. When we finished eating, Nicole offered me a ride home. On the way, she said, You gave him excitement. He's not built for silence. No guy is. I smiled like I believed her. At a red light, I glanced out the window. A few guys were working on an old truck, laughing, music going. No girls, no drama, just easy calm. They looked fine, happier than fine. Honestly, I was surprised they could look that happy without women there. They must have been gay, I guess. Nicole caught me staring. What? Nothing. Thought one of them looked like him. She waved it off. Even if it was, don't worry. They all pretend they're okay until they realize they're not. I wanted to believe her. I wanted to picture him at home, seeing the empty space where my stuff used to be, missing it, missing me. That night, I cleaned up, tried reading, tried anything to fill the silence. It still felt wrong without him talking somewhere in the background. He'll come back. He has to. Men always do. They need warmth, someone to talk to, someone who notices them. They say they like peace, but peace gets boring. That's what Nicole said. That's what I told myself. And for a while, it worked. I tried to keep busy, met up with co-workers for lunch, went shopping, even signed up for a yoga class online. The days felt full, but not in a good way, just noise filling space. Every time I came home to an empty apartment, the quiet hit harder. At night it got worse. I'd scroll my phone, stare at our old photos, tell myself not to care, then end up angry again. How do men do that? Just stop talking and act fine. How can someone go a whole day, a whole week without checking in? The more I thought about it, the more it bothered me. It wasn't just that he hadn't texted, it was how easily he seemed to live without me. It had been almost 2 weeks now. Still no message, no, how are you? Nothing. At that point, I wasn't even mad anymore. I just wanted proof he wasn't as calm as he pretended to be. So when I saw Ryan at the gas station that afternoon, I took it as a sign. He was filling up his truck. I parked and walked over before I could talk myself out of it. Hey, I said, acting casual. He looked surprised. Emily. Wow, hey. Been a while, I smiled too quickly. Yeah, you still see Alex much? He nodded. Pretty often. Why? I shrugged. Just wondering. Haven't heard from him. Thought maybe he's still mad or whatever. Ryan looked at me for a second before answering. He's not mad. He's fine. I laughed. Fine? He just disappears, and he's fine. Yeah, he said. Actually better than fine. He's been coming to the gym with me again. Started helping his dad fix up that old dirt bike he bought last year. Said he finally has time to finish it. I blinked. So, he's keeping busy? Yeah. I mean, he's always been like that, right? Quiet, keeps to himself. He's just doing his thing now. I tried to sound normal. Doing his thing without me, you mean? Ryan gave a small shrug. I guess. He's not out partying or anything. Just seems lighter. Said he's sleeping better. That word again. lighter, like I'd been the weight. I forced a smile. Good for him. Ryan hesitated. He's not angry, Emily. He said he hopes you're okay, just that he needed quiet for a while. Quiet, I repeated, like it was a foreign word. Right. Yeah. Said the arguing was wearing him out. He's focusing on simple stuff now. Working, gym, helping his dad, getting his head straight. I crossed my arms. So what, he's suddenly enlightened now? Ryan gave a small laugh. Nah, same guy, just less wound up. I frowned. Less wound up about what? He hesitated. Look, I don't know everything about you two. Not trying to get in the middle. But when you first started dating, he was different. Happier, talked more, used to joke around a lot at work. I waited, bracing myself. And? Ryan shifted like he wasn't sure if he should say it. Then later, he got quiet. Always tense, like he was waiting for something to go wrong. I'd ask if everything was fine, and he'd just say, yeah, we're good. But he never looked sure of it. My jaw tightened. So now you're saying I stressed him out? He shook his head. No, I'm saying he looked like he couldn't relax. He'd check his phone a lot. You'd text, and he'd stop mid-sentence to read it, get this look like he was guessing whether it was going to be a good message or a bad one. It got to a point where even when we hung out, he wasn't really there. That one landed like a punch. Ryan added quietly, I don't think he blamed you. He just started walking on eggshells. You could see it. I tried to laugh it off. You make it sound like I was controlling him or something. He gave a small shrug. I'm not saying that. But maybe he just got tired of always being nervous around someone he cared about. That's what it looked like from the outside. I didn't know what to say, so I nodded, muttered something about being late, and left before he could keep talking. I sat in my car for a while, staring at the steering wheel, sleeping better, lighter. He'd actually said that? I told myself Ryan was exaggerating, or maybe Alex told him that just to save face. Guys lie to their friends all the time to look in control. There's no way he's really fine. He's just pretending, acting like he's got this perfect, peaceful life to make me regret it. That's what I told myself the whole drive home. But that night, I couldn't shake it, so I went to see for myself. I went for a drive to clear my head, but somehow I ended up on his street. His truck was there, the garage light was on. I slowed down, heartbeat all over the place. Through the open door, I saw him, wearing that same old grey hoodie, sleeves pushed up, hands covered in grease, working on that dirt bike. Music low, calm. He looked steady, focused, not angry, not sad. Just there. He didn't look like someone pretending to move on. He looked like someone who already had. I waited, thinking maybe he'd look up, notice me. He didn't even glance toward the street. After a minute, I drove off. My chest felt heavy, but I couldn't explain why. Back home, I kept replaying what I saw. Him in that garage, humming along to some song. Happy. It made no sense. How could he look happy without me? Time blurred after that, and after 3 weeks, I was done waiting. Men were supposed to chase. That's how it worked. They fall apart first, they break the silence, they show up with apologies. They always do. So I decided I'd give Alex the chance. I'd make him see me, fall for me again, then I'd be the one to walk away. That would prove I still had the power. I texted him, "Hey, want to catch up? Just coffee." He replied in under a minute, "Sure. Tomorrow works." I smiled to myself. There it is. Knew it. They can never resist seeing a girl face to face. They act calm online, but in person, they fold. The next day, I got to the cafe early, checked my reflection twice, kept my phone out like I didn't care. He walked in exactly on time. No hesitation, no nerves. He looked rested, lighter. "Hey," he said, pulling out the chair. "Hey," I said. Didn't expect you to answer that fast. He shrugged. No reason not to. I tried to sound casual. So what's new? Been busy? Yeah. Work, gym, helping my dad on weekends. Wow, domestic life, I said. He smiled. Something like that. I waited for him to ask about me. He didn't. I leaned forward. You really haven't missed me at all. He looked at me. I did, for a while. Then I got used to quiet. I laughed once. Men always say that. You all need someone to talk to eventually. He shook his head. Not always. Turns out, I like not arguing all the time. That threw me off. So now you're acting like the victim. He stayed calm. Not acting. Just saying what it was like. I crossed my arms. You make it sound like I was awful. He took a breath. You weren't awful. You were just always waiting for a reaction. I couldn't keep up. Men are supposed to keep up, I said before thinking. You're supposed to put up with things. That's what love is. He gave a small nod. Maybe that's what you think it is. I used to too, but I don't anymore. He leaned back slightly, eyes steady. You know what I realized? He said. Most guys date hoping it'll make life better. But half the time, it just adds stress. You try to make someone happy and somehow you're still wrong. You work, you provide, you listen, and it's never enough. Then when you finally stop trying, you're called cold or distant. He paused, watching my face. I don't hate anyone for it. I just decided I'd rather be peaceful and alone than tense all the time, trying to prove I care. For a second, neither of us spoke. Then he said quietly, You always thought I'd chase no matter what? I did for a long time. I'm just not that guy anymore. He finished his coffee, stood up, and put on his jacket. I'm glad you're okay, he said. That's it? I asked. That's it. He looked at me once, calm as ever. Take care of yourself. He walked out without a pause, no backward glance. I sat there staring at the door, waiting for him to come back like before. He didn't. That's when it hit me. He wasn't the one chasing anymore.